Imagine leaving class, walking out to your car, and driving down South Main Avenue headed for the highway. When you pull over at the stop sign, you notice a homeless man sitting on the side of the road alone. Most of us would keep driving and act like you never saw him, or even lock your car doors. Well, we all know that it's not out of the ordinary to see a homeless person in Tulsa. In fact, Tulsa People website said nightly counts at the homeless center, including the Center of Hope, the Tulsa Day Center, and John 316 Mission, revealed that over a year, approximately 4,000 people use the local shelter system. Though it's nearly impossible for us to reduce the poverty level in Tulsa, there's several ways you can make a difference. Now, I'm not talking about homeless people in California or Chicago. I'm talking about homeless people right here in Tulsa. How we should help them, or why we should help them, and how we can help. When we see a homeless person sitting on the side of the road, we have two choices. Turn our cheek and act like we never saw them, or make a difference and help. Most people assume they're homeless because they're addicted to drugs or alcohol, but there's actually many factors that can cause families to be homeless. According to the National Coalition for the Homeless, all it takes is for a family or individual who can't afford health care to become seriously ill, and the downward spiral to homelessness can begin. The next thing I'd like to talk about is why we should help them. There's the obvious reason that nobody deserves to live such a terrible life. Something so little to us can mean so much to them. You may ask yourself, is it safe to help them? Well, it depends on a person's mental stability, but the best way to approach a homeless person is when they're alone and not near other homeless people, and just be calm and nice. Usually they'll be very appreciative. The other day when I left class, I was going home and I noticed a homeless man walking across the road, and he wasn't wearing any shoes. So I could have went home and ate lunch, or I could have went and helped him. I decided to go to Goodwill and just see if they had cheap shoes, and when I got there, I ended up buying 2 pairs of brand new shoes and a new t-shirt. And I drove around for about 2 hours trying to find him, and when I finally did, I got out and handed him the bag, and all he said was, "God bless you." And that makes you feel really good, just to know you helped them. And when I drove off, I noticed that he didn't have any food or water. So I kind of looked in the back seat and I found a half empty bottle of water, and I gave it to him. It's nothing to me. It was kind of trash to me. I was getting ready to throw it away, and that meant so much to him that I gave him that water. Some people would say if you gave homeless people money, they'll spend it on drugs or alcohol. Well, Derek Thompson of the Atlantic newspaper says if we drop change in a beggar's hand without donating to a charity, we're acting to relieve our guilt rather than underlying crisis of poverty. The same calculus applies to the beggar who relies on panhandling for a booze hit. In short, both sides fail each other by being lured into fleeting sense of relief rather than a lasting solution to the structural problem of homelessness. The last thing I'd like to talk about is how we can help the homeless. The Tulsa World gives a few examples of what we should give them, like tents, tarps, sleeping bags, bus passes, chapstick, food, clothes. One thing we should not give homeless people is money, because they may say that they're going to use it for food, but we never know if they're going to use it for food or alcohol and drugs. So the best thing to give them if you want them to eat is just food. Like I said before, helping out doesn't have to be expensive. Go to Goodwill. The 2 pairs of shoes and t-shirt only cost $13. Another way we can help is by volunteering. This one's my favorite. I volunteer at John 316, and it's a lot of fun, and you get to work with your friends, and it always makes you feel like a better person helping these people out. There's so many reasons or so many ways we can help. There's really no reason we shouldn't. So, in conclusion, I talked about how homeless people live, how we can help, and just a few ways we can help. So, next time you see that homeless man sitting on the side of the road, don't turn around, do something and make a difference. You never know how big of an impact you can be on them until you try.